And that kind of oppression, I will never forgive the Marcos administration. That is as simple as I will clearly state that. This is on Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
Pero hold na natin ating komentary sapagkat Padre Franco, mapalad tayo na nagpaunlak ang ating magiging kapanayam ngayong umaga. Take it away, Padre Franco.
Ngayong umaga po mga kababayan ay atin po mga kasama, walang iba kundi ang ating former Presidential Communications Secretary, walang iba kundi si Attorney Trixie Cruz Angeles. Magandang umaga po, Attorney.
Good morning, Attorney.
Morning.
Hi, magandang umaga po.
Yes.
Hi,
Attorney Trixie.
Hi po.
Oo. Kasama po natin si Brother Franco. And maraming salamat, Attorney. It's been a time na hindi tayo nakapag-usap. At nagagala kami na nakita ka namin sa isang interview that you were discussing yung punto ng number one, there is really an effect na chilling, nakakatakot, nakakabahala dito sa nangyayari sa SMNI, sa mga program, sa mga independent digital media personalities like you na ngayon ay isa ng social media digital personality.
Also,
Makulit.
Also, Attorney, can you make it dikit sa what you also said about the importance of leadership in all of these things that's happening right now? Okay, thank you.
Attorney Trixie, you have now your time to tell the people how you view things right now. Lalo na po doon sa take-off ng iyong pagpapahayag na nakakabahala ang kalagayan sa malayang paghahayag at pagsasalita na ginagarantiyan ng mga batas natin, lalo na ng saligang batas. Go ahead po, Attorney Trixie.
Sumampa ang ating Pangulo bilang leader ng ating bayan with a lot of good plans. Marami siyang na pag-aralan na tungkol dun sa mga problema ng bayan at nilahad niya ito dun sa kanyang SONA number 1. Nakikita natin dito na nirirespeto niya ang kalayaan magsalita at magbahayag. Pinuntiryan niya ang presyo ng pagkain, tubig, kuryente, at transportasyon. So ngayon, sa gitna ng maraming problema na nakikita natin, natural, i-expect ng isang leader na may mga aangal sa taong bayan. Ini-expect natin ang kritisismo. When things don't go well, kasalanan mo man o hindi, expect mo ang taong bayan ay magsasalita. Pero yung pagsasalita na yon, nakikita natin may opresyon na. Hindi na ito basta may napipikon, hindi ito simpleng bagay na may nagtatampo dun sa isang sinabi mo, natural yan, tao yan eh. Pero makikita natin may systematic oppression. Hindi na po ito basta-basta. Halimbawa, alam natin may mga networks dyan na ini-endanger ang prangkisa. May mga na-detain. May mga natanggal sa trabaho. Gawa ng utos ng isang mataas na opisyales. Tapos, hindi lang yan nagbabayad ang gobyerno or at the very least, hindi nila sinasalungat yung balita na may mga trolls na binabayaran ng gobyerno para atakihin ang ordinaryong mamamayan na nais lamang magsalita at magpahayag ng kanilang damdamin at saloobin. Sa gitna ng mga krisis, may krisis tayo sa kuryente.
Wala.
Sorry.
Okay, Attorney Trixie. Mukhang nagkaroon ng interruption po sa inyong huling mga sinabi. Try natin again.
Okay na po.
Okay, go.
Okay. So, nakikita natin sa gitna, may krisis tayo sa kuryente. Hindi nila pinag-uusapan yan. Nagtaas ang presyo ng tubig. Nagtataas ang presyo ng pagkain. Sa gitna ng lahat ng ito, ang unang nilang naiisip, baguhin ang saligang batas at matahimikin ang ilang mga taong nagsasalita at nagpapahayag. Saan ka nakakita na gano'n ang reaksyon? Na imbis na atupagin ang solusyon sa mga problema na alam naman nila kung ano yung mga solusyon na yon, ay ang aatupagin nila yung kritisismo. Yes. Ang aatupagin, pagbabago sa saligang batas na hanggang ngayon hindi nila ini-explain kung ano ang specifics nun. So, natural, magtatanong tayo, nakikita natin may mga government officials, nagpapabaya, sino bang in charge sa tubig? Yes. Sino bang in charge sa kuryente? Sino bang in charge sa deteriorating conditions ng ating environment? Marami tayong problema. Pero yung mga kalihim, parang wala tayong naririnig sa kanya. But the buck stops with the leader.
Exactly.
Kasi nasa leadership na yan. Kung ang mga tao mo hindi nagpo-perform, natural magtatanong ang taong bayan, Mr. President, ano na? Pero anong nakukuha natin? Maswerte tayo kung deadma lang eh. But instead, may oppression.
Yes.
Bakit ganon? May problema, pero you shoot the messenger. Now, hindi na, binigyan, ito yung maganda pa niyan ha, binigyan natin ng oras. Hindi po ito first 100 days. Hindi ito first 6 months. Patigidig na tayo, magdadalawang taon na. Pero anong nangyayari? Instead of more information, we get less. Instead of more service, we see less. Tapos, nape-play up pa yung leisure ng ating Pangulo. Concerts, parties. Can you blame the people if they are upset? Can you blame the people if they will criticize? But what are the reactions to blaming and criticism? Oppression. That's not how government works. Mayroon yung guarantee ng free speech. Nakalagay sa saligang batas, no law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech or of expression.
Tama.
Sinasabi dito, nililimitahan yung power ng gobyerno na limitahan ang ating kalayaan magsalita at magpahayag. Pero, imbis na respetuhin, imbis na i-uphold ang saligang batas pagdating sa ating kalayaang magsalita at magpahayag, nadidiminish pa. So what are we expected to do? Alam niyo ba na the right to free speech is a social valve? Nagre-release siya ng pressures. Siyempre, di ba, nagkakaroon ng
Correct.
social pressures, societal pressures. Poverty alone is one of the biggest pressures on society. So, binibigay ng saligang batas yung pagkakataon na maka-vent ang taong bayan. But instead of venting, you see threats. You see threats on removing franchises, removing hosts, flaws. You see accounts on social media getting taken down. And the worst part is, walang explanation.
Yeah.
Walang
Attorney,
deadma.
yes, Attorney,
Total
Great, Ma'am Lorraine.
Attorney
Thank you,
question.
Attorney Trixie. Thank
yeah,
you.
attorney question. So, itong oppression that you're talking about right now, is this the first time that you're feeling it? Is this the first time that you're experiencing it?
Oh, definitely. Kasi kahit noon, matagal na tayong nag-activista. I was really proud of the Duterte administration. But before that, I was a government critic. And in all my years before that, under Noynoy, under Gloria, I was always a very active critic. But not once was I threatened with the loss of my livelihood
Yes.
for saying something.
Yes.
At
Yes.
kinakausap nila ako, sasabihin, bakit mo sinabi to? Bakit ganito? May mga ganon. May papadala sa akin na government official at sasabihin, alam mo, hindi naman yan yung intention ng gobyerno. Pero there was movement on their part. They would somehow address the criticism. Pero they would never tell me na tanggalin ka namin sa ganyan.
Attorney, so under PRRD, no, when I worked with him, the very clear understanding of PRRD that press freedom and freedom of expression is of utmost importance. It is these are rights above all other rights, freedoms above all other freedoms, because it will redound to the good of the country, no? So my question to you, attorney, in other words, the former president had a very deep understanding of what democracy is, and he was an astute chief executive. No, he didn't care what others said, but what the press said. He just kept on keeping on, diba? So maliwanag sa kanya, I'm here in government to serve the people, diba? So at saka wala siyang tinatago, diba? So ang tanong ko kasi dito, kasi itong nakikita ko ngayon, napaka-praning ng administrasyon na ito at napaka-sensitive, no? Napaka-sensitive na simpleng dissent ay parang hindi nila kaya. So, does it mirror, what does it say? Does it say that the sitting president has no idea what it is like to be an executive? Is that what it means? That he has no idea what his job is? Is it a clear reading of what's going on right now?
Ganito yun, Doc.
Yeah.
If he doesn't know, he ought to know.
Yeah.
It is his mandate. The
Yes.
Supreme Court has already said, public officials cannot be onion skin.
Cannot.
Criticism is a vital part of democracy. Kaya nga demokrasya ito. Kasi may dynamic. Government must listen to the people because government gets its power from the people. The entire mandate of the whole system of government rests on the people's choice. When we go to the polls, when we elect them, and yes, when we suffer their governance, it's all because we give them that power. And they are in power simply because we allow them to
Yes.
take power.
So-
the least that they can do for us is listen.
Yes, attorney. So, you are a student of history, yeah? You are a student of history, and I strive to be one as well. So, what happens to an administration that turns a deaf ear on its people? Kasi mukhang ayaw nila ng batikos, mukhang bawal yon, no? Mukha bang may papayag dito? Wala namang papayag doon kasi demokrasya tayo, no? So, what will happen to an administration where they do not listen to the people?
Diba, we mentioned earlier on that the freedom of speech acts as a pressure valve. Without that pressure valve,
Yes.
if you oppress or you suppress the freedom of speech, pressures build up. And what happens at the end of that? But there is social unrest. We're lucky if it's just unrest.
Yeah.
But then eventually these things could zoom towards something else. And we know we are no strangers to changes in government. We've had in the past 40 years we've had two. And the beginnings of our government come from a revolution. A revolution also brought about by increasing societal pressures. So he should take a page from previous rulers, those who have turned a deaf ear, particularly to concerns about lifestyle.
Correct.
Diba?
Yes,
Hindi,
yes.
this is not something that we should treat frivolously. The removal of two presidents were due to what people would see as excesses in lifestyle. So maybe it would be a good idea for any leader to remember this.
Yeah, correct. Claro.
See, before you go, I just want to tell a story to all of you, and I hope you listen, no? When we were detained illegally, I was keeping a strong front, no? And my lawyer then, Attorney Cherry, was there, and when my family had already left, no, I wept dito
Yeah.
sa lawyer ko. I said, ganito pala yung pakiramdam ng oppression.
Yeah.
Ganito pala yun, no? And then, but I was trying to keep myself strong, and I said, but I know naman it's nothing, attorney, kasi compared to your other clients, no, talagang napreso, talagang ganyan, this is nothing. And then she said, no, any oppression, it diminishes all of us. That's why we should all fight against it. And my children are grown and they're very brave people, no, my children, my family, I'm very proud of them. But still I saw how hurt they were, and I learned that when a mother is imprisoned, her children and her husband and all her loved ones are with her in prison.
Yeah.
And that kind of oppression, I will never forgive the Marcos administration. That is as simple as
Yes.
I will clearly state that. This is on Ferdinand Marcos Jr.